Hello again, my friends. Okay, so we're going to continue our little work with using Noodle Tools. And I'm going to click over here on Noodle Tools, and I'm going to sign in. And once again, to get into my project, I'm going to click on the name. It's going to open up to our sources. And now we need a website. So there's a couple things that you can do. You can go to Google and type it in. And when you do this, there are 530 million websites that I can look at related to Julia Child. And there's just really no time I have to go through that many. And whatever website you look at and decide to use, you really need to kind of evaluate it. Do you know that the information is current? Is it accurate? Is this reliable? Who put the information out there? Are they an expert on that particular topic? Is this a trustworthy website? Usually, and once again, here we go. Wikipedia is the first one that pops up. Now, Wikipedia is a great place to go to gather current information. A lot of teachers may not have a problem with using it, but for those teachers who are going to have you do research projects, most of them are going to tell you, no, don't use Wikipedia. And basically, there's two reasons why they are leery of having you use Wikipedia. The first one is it's like crowdsourced information. It's a crowdsourced encyclopedia. So multiple people are adding information, and then an editor will go through and kind of like double check everything and pull things out that are incorrect. But when you're looking at it, you don't necessarily know if the information you're looking at has been, double checked. So it's not 100% reliable. It's usually pretty good, but I'm telling you why most teachers are going to say no Wikipedia. The second reason, because it is crowdsourced, is the information being presented to you in an objective way, or does the person who's putting the information in have a particular bias? For some subjects, it's not going to be a huge issue, but for other subjects, it could be. So let's say you're in the Environmental Academy and you're doing a project on fossil fuels versus alternative fuels. And if you're looking at a website and it's published by Shell Oil Company, what would their bias be towards alternative energy versus fossil fuels, since they're making all their money on fossil fuels? If you were looking up information on this page on Donald Trump, okay, everybody has an opinion about Donald Trump, and it's very hard to be objective. And so is the information put out there in such a way that it's objective? Okay, so that's why a lot of teachers are going to tell you no. So if you go and you look, you're going to have to decide, is this website, is this a trustworthy, reliable website? So one of the things that I will show you is if you go to the library catalog again. I just like using Destiny Discover, so I'm just going to go straight into Destiny Discover. I'm going to search Julia Child. Now, the first thing it shows me are all the books, which is all of one. But if I come up here and I click on websites, the company Follett, they have had somebody who's curated different websites related to Julia Child. So they pulled out 500. Now, they may not all be about Julia Child. They may be about somebody named Julia or something, the topic of child. but the first ones will be with Julia and Child. So the people who put these up here and connected it to the catalog have already looked to make sure that they're appropriate for school, that they're not going to contain inappropriate material. And it will even tell you over here, like what grade levels they're most appropriate for. And they've kind of looked through, and if they felt the information wasn't accurate or too biased or whatever, they did not include it. So these are the ones that made the cut. Now, some of these are going to be great, and some might be just little short little bits, like the Fact Monster one. Let's just go look. So if I come on here, okay, looks like whatever was on here isn't on here anymore. So that's not a really great one to look at. Okay, this one comes from NPR, and so they're telling a story. You can listen to the interview of Julia Child, and so you can actually hear her talking about different things and somebody asking her questions. So that one would be a really cool one. pbsfood.org. You can watch some of her videos. This one has her biography. So this one goes to biography.com, which was actually one of the first ones that you saw in our Google search. So I'm going to do this one here. So I can listen to the 14-minute interview and I can read this article. And so if I decide I want to use this, I have to figure out how do I put this on my Noodle Tools. So let's come over to Noodle Tools. We're going to say new source, say website, say web page. Now, unfortunately, most places are not going to have a copy and paste. So we're going to have to look for all of this information. So first, let's look and see if it does give us a copy and paste, but don't hold your breath. Okay, so title, interview, tells me when it was broadcast, sign up for the newsletter, content, information. Okay, 2020. Okay. Nope, I don't see a copy and paste. So I'm going to come up here and copy the URL. So URL. It wants to know when this article was published. Dates are hard to find. In this case, not so difficult. So we have August 7th, 2009. So I'm going to come over here and put that in. Sometimes you're just going to get a year. This one was pretty nice. Gave us all of it. Most recent date of access. This is when I'm looking at it today. So I click today. It wants to know, does it give a name of an author, editor, or translator? So, books. Okay, fresh air, 14-minute listen. And I do not see an author on here. And I'm going to tell you that most of the time you're not. So I'll leave that. I have to leave it blank. Okay, it wants the name of the web page and the website. Okay, so this would be like the website. I'm going to use an analogy. The website would be the book and the web page would be the chapter. So if I look over here, the website is NPR. The web page is Julia Child, an American Forever in Paris. It's a long title. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and copy and then I'll paste that. So that's our title of the page we're on. And then the website is NPR. You're going to find often that the publisher and the website are often the same. So I am just going to come all the way down to the bottom. Does it tell me who the publisher is? 2022 NPR. Usually you're going to find the publisher near the copyright date. So NPR. Now that's all the information I can put in here. Providing description instead. Nope. I'm going to leave it because that's what it says. Save. And now my website is there. Okay, now I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to come over here, and here PBS has, and she did all of her cooking shows at the beginning with PBS. She would be nothing without PBS. So I know that if I looked and used that particular website, that they would be an expert on her, that the information would be correct. The Julia Child Foundation.org. So this, all they do is everything about her. So I can trust that as well. They have Encyclopedia Britannica here, but it's the one that is public that everybody can use. It's a little bit different from the one in our databases. Biography.com often has short, easy to read biographies. They'll also connect it to videos. Sometimes the videos are like 2 or 3 minutes long, and sometimes you'll get a full like 50-minute video, because they used to have them for television and they would have it for a whole hour. And so it's a little less because, they had to put commercials in. Facebook.com, I would stay away from that. Womenshistory.org or Smithsonian, those would all be really great things. I'm going to go to PBS. So this is their page on PBS, and I'm just going to do a second. Oh, good. We can watch videos of her on this particular one and watch her making some of her famous things. Okay, so let's see. That's not the one I wanted. Okay, it just went straight to here. I'm going to do biography.com or biography. Only because I want to show you what they have, and please don't make the mistake a lot of my students make. Okay, so I'm going to use biography.com. So I'm going to come over here to my Noodle Tool sources. It's a new source. It is a website. It is a web page. So I'm going to come over here, and we're going to look for the URL, which is easy to find. We want to see when a date that this was put on, and it gives us a date, February 27th, 2018. I'm accessing it today, and now we are looking for author and stuff like that. Now, as you go through and you're looking for author and titles and dates and all that, when you get to the bottom of this article, okay, this is why this is a really annoying website, because they will often have these videos that go on because that's how they make their money. Okay, they're going to give you the citation information. Now, when you're looking on here, it's going to say the author is biography.com editors. And this is the same company that does history.com, and history.com will say it's history.com editors. When I'm on here and I'm looking for an author, please do not write in biography.com editors. If you don't have a physical name, like Tiffany Federico as author, then you're leaving it blank. So we're not going to put that in there. Okay. So we want the web page, the article title, and the website and the publisher of the site. So we can come over here and it's going to tell us that the publisher here is A&E Television Networks. Publisher. Okay. And we got the last updated is different from what they put on the top of the page. May 27th, 2021. Okay, website name is the biography.com website. You're just going to put, because that your teacher's not going to want that. The name of the website is biography. Like history.com, it's history. And then the name of the article that we're on, Julia Child biography. But when I come up here to the top, it just says Julia Child. So we're just going to type in her name. Which is interesting because they're giving you information that when I go to put it in, if you turn that into me as a teacher, I would start editing that because that's not it. I don't know. I wish they would talk to some librarians about it. Anyway, so I just say save. There's nothing else that I can put in. It's missing, so I say save. And now I have that in there. So websites are the hardest to source because you have to evaluate, is this a reliable website? And then you have to search for all of the information and stick it in there. Okay, so we're moving on to writing note cards. So that will be lots of fun. Check out the next video.